Hello, 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 Dreamers. Perla here, as always. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. So this is on the CUSP Weekly Messages. So this is going to be for all of our lovely CUSP signs. This video will be timestamped, guys, but it will not be in order, okay? That's just the way that they're coming in this week. So let's go ahead and let's see who's coming in first. Ooh, again. So Capricorns, you guys started the other video, the regular ones, and now it's going to be Capricorn Aquarius is the one that's going to start. So whatever sign I get is the one that's going to be the first sign that is going to be starting. So Capricorn Aquarius cusp. There's something here about having an energy this week of feeling like you're misplacing things or feeling like you're losing things. And I'm doing it like this because there is a major redirection that is happening. So you may start to see or start to notice this week that you may be misplacing your keys, or you may be misplacing like cleaning items or whatever it is. And it's getting to you, or it's getting frustrating for you because there's something else in your life that you feel like you've lost or like you've misplaced. So this could have been a job, a career opportunity. This could have been a relationship or something of that matter. And what is happening in your energy field this week is that you're misplacing things and then you're refinding them. And you're finding them in a space where when you are relaxed, when you have completely like moved forward in doing like in finding a solution to it, if that makes sense. So like a quick example that I can use is I was and this is how I love the way that things come in, right? So I have a Windex bottle that I keep in my room specifically to wipe down my table. And I went to grab it and it wasn't in the location where it was, right? So I went, and instead of getting frustrated, like, oh, where is it? Where is it? I went to the kitchen, I got a spare bottle, sprayed it on my napkin, and came back into the room, right? And as I'm walking back into the room, I see the original bottle that I keep in my room, and I see that it has fallen behind something. And I just laughed, and I kept coming to my room, like, coming to my desk, because I was like, you know what? It is what it is. And then I was like, oh, this is what the first sign is dealing with, this energy of like needing to take redirections as what they are. The redirections are meant for you to face challenges that maybe you haven't faced in the past. It is about allowing yourself to expand in a way that, and I know that you guys are probably going to hate this word, but in a way that you can prove to yourself that you got this no matter what, right? This is not about anybody doing any type of like spiritual work on you. Like nobody has you blocked. Nobody has anything like that on you. It is about seriously like you needing to step into your own power, and you needing to know that you are going to have the outcome that you want no matter what. But there is a sense here of needing to let go of the idea or the belief that when spirit is redirecting you in a certain way, it's because somebody's doing something to you, or because of evil eye and this and this and that. That is not always the case. Sometimes spirit is redirecting you because maybe what it is that you're asking for is not 100% in alignment with you. And what is in alignment with you is probably something that you cannot even imagine, or something that you can't even picture, but it is greater than what it is that you have been asking for. So I would, during this time, advise you guys to really surrender to what it is that spirit is trying to show you. All right, guys. Give me 1 second. I want to pull out a couple of. So yeah, this whole energy of like thinking that someone is against you, or someone is out to get you, or you're having bad luck or something of that matter, you need to walk away from that energy. You need to know that, I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago, and he had reached out about a job that he was hired for, like not falling through at the end. And the minute that I received the text, I was like, no, you need to do A, B, C, and D. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's not my story to tell. And he was going down this spiral, and I said certain things, and this person is religious, so they're not really like, they're more religious than spiritual. So then a couple of hours later, he texts me back, and he's like, oh, I think that God wants me to see it A, B, C, and D. And then I laughed, and I did the exclamation point on the text that I had already sent him a couple of hours ago. I was like, oh, I'm finally glad to see that God is agreeing with the advice that I gave you. And then he laughed, and I was like, yeah, because again, he was being redirected and he's still going to get that dream job. There was just an extra step that needed to be taken because he needed to be challenged in that way. Because even to get him to this point has been a challenge in itself. I hope that makes sense. All right. So let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card for your closing message, guys. So yeah, take this redirection knowing that if you face a challenge right away, you are going to almost immediately have the outcome that it is that you're looking for. So we have the number 7, the black cat. There's a curious journey into the depth of the unknown, hidden so deep that only the brave will gracefully return with light in their eyes and shadow leading home. Again, trusting this part of your journey, trusting this part of the process is going to allow you to getting to that space or that place or whatever it is that you so desire, my love. Alrighty? So we have Sagittarius Capricorn. Okay. What do we have for you guys? There's something about romanticizing life this week, about feeling very, when I say sensual, excuse me, it's not necessarily like about wanting to go out and F everybody. That's not what I'm talking about here, okay? It's about like this new way of being like in your body, this new way of like loving yourself, this new way of carrying yourself through life, this new way of experiencing life, or the way that you allow yourself to experience life, that is really coming in. And it's coming in like, I almost kind of like want to come in like dancing into your video, like, oh yeah, like I'm feeling myself type of energy, because that is the energy that you are embodying, or the spirit is asking you to embody. There is a sense here that you have spent a lot of time, my love, trying to create this perfect picture, this perfect image as to how the world sees you or how outside people see you. But within that perfect image that you've created, there is parts of you that the world has yet to see, that the world has yet to know, right? And there is a sense about needing to free that part of yourself, right? So it's very simple. Like, you've lived in this space or in this box where you don't allow yourself to be silly in public, right? And that means like if you're in your car and you're driving and there's a song that comes up, you won't dance because you're afraid of what people that are driving next to you are going to think. I've had people, I'm not even gonna lie, like, well, I be driving, I'll be at a like at a stoplight, at a red light, and I'll be freaking dancing like I'm in a freaking like party, and people be beeping their horn at me and like clapping or yelling like, oh yes, whatever, and this and this and that, and I just think like it's so funny. Like, people are either gonna get irritated by seeing you dance by yourself, people are either gonna celebrate you or they're gonna join in, and either way it doesn't matter as long as you're having fun in life, and as long as you are enjoying yourself, and as long as you are allowing your true self to come through. It's really irrelevant in regards to what other people are going to think. So I invite you this week, when you're driving and you're at a light or whatever it is, like, let loose, my love. I remember I was driving one day. Was I driving? No, I was in the passenger seat, excuse me. This was recently, like right after my surgery. And this guy, he must have been really tall for his car, I'm not gonna lie. Because he was dancing and he was taking one of his hands out of the driver's window and stuff like that. But he looked like he was having a blast. And I was just like in the back. I was like, okay, I can't do much, so I'm just doing this. Because I physically like couldn't move because I was in so much pain from surgery. But it was so funny. And it's like, and it's that him doing it is not funny. What I mean is, like, I love seeing things like that. Like, I love seeing people fully express themselves without worrying so much about the image that they want the world to have of them, right? And there is a sense here that there is a part of you that is shedding that physical or that materialistic image that you've put yourself in or that you have created for yourself. So there is a freeing of that this week. And I really do love that energy. All right. Alright. Sorry guys, I do listen to music, as I'm not always, but sometimes. And there's certain songs that just come through. Potions and spells. A pinch of this, a dash of that. You're sure before you call. So there is a sense here that you have been asking Spirit to help you in unleashing who you are, to help you in allowing yourself to just be yourself. And again, it is coming in like, I don't know, there is this energy of like you just looking at yourself in the mirror, or like you getting dressed and you're like, damn, I'm fine. Like, oh my God, I'm gorgeous, I'm handsome, whatever it is, I'm sexy, I'm hot. I don't know how you talk to yourself. Whatever it is yes, right? And there's a sense of that like awakening, and it's coming from within you, and it feels very natural. It feels like it flows very, very easy. And you're being asked to embrace that and to celebrate that and to stop holding yourself back so much. Alrighty? Alrighty, love. Taurus, Gemini, cusp. There is an energy of courage that is needed. The energy is courage and trust that is going to be required for you this week. This courage energy is surrounding a space of like movement forward, or a space of taking some type of risk. Now, this risk may be financially, or emotionally, romantically, right? But there is something about like almost kind of feeling like you're being pushed in a certain direction. Let's say you're thinking of like renting a new apartment or renting a house or something like that, and if for some reason spirit is like, nah, start looking into like purchasing, and you're just like, oh, I don't think, and spirit is like, stop thinking so much and do what I'm asking you, and it's like, boom, next thing you know, you can buy a house and your mortgage is like half the price of what a rent would be. There's something about that where you're doing something, I don't want to necessarily say impulsively, because that's not what I mean. I mean somebody like naturally or intuitively following the guidance of spirit and receiving more than what they were expecting, or more than what they were planning for. That is the energy here that I'm picking up, right? But it is coming with some type of risk that you're taking. So this is not something that's just going to like fall on your lap without actually taking a risk. So you're not going to get your dream job without applying, right? You're not going to get your dream car without shopping for it. It's almost kind of, but it's like almost everything kind of falls into alignment, like, whoosh, like here it is. And there is a sense here of, again, because a lot of you is like, oh, I don't like doing things in urgency. This is not an urgency energy of like, oh my God, if you don't do it now, it's not. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this knowing energy that spirit is directing you in a direction, or in a space, in a way, in a whatever lane, whatever the freaking word you want to use. Because I don't know why, I feel like you guys really want to get technical here. I think that's your Gemini side that starts to doubt everything. I'm not even gonna lie, because your Taurus is like, the Taurus aspect of you is like, yeah, spirit said this, we're gonna do this, and your Gemini side is like, well, are we really though? Really, are we? And it's like, that is the part of this that you're gonna have to kind of address, so that you don't allow like doubt to rob you of this opportunity. Because there is something here of like getting more or receiving more than what you had originally planned for. Okay. Alrighty, but there is a risk here that needs to happen in order for this to come to pass. So this is not. So like one of the things that I like to say when I'm reading is like, there's certain things that, and again, this is me personally, this has nothing to do with other readers. There's certain things that when they come out, there is nothing that you can do to influence an energy. Like if I say this is gonna happen, it's like, and if I say it like, oh, no matter what, this is gonna happen, that's different. Here I'm talking about energies that can be influenced or will be influenced based on the actions that you take at that moment in time, right? And so therefore, this is like something that if you guys come a week from now and you're like, well, Perla, I didn't get it. Well, did you take the risk, or did you freeze? Like, did you freeze when the opportunity showed itself, right? Did you freeze when, like, let's say if you're working with a realtor, if your realtor comes and says, well, what about if we just check and see where you're at buying a house instead of renting? And then if you dismiss it, again, you're dismissing the guidance, because remember, spirit is continuously communicating with you, and sometimes spirit uses either the most random people or people that you really don't want to listen to, in order to bring you these messages. So as your closing message, we have the witch. Grab hold. Allow the dwelling fire within belly awaken all that is. A mere glimpse, a dedicated pool at the very roots, living in the alchemy of self. Again, this is intuitively coming. This is spirit screaming at you, saying, come on, I know that you asked for, like, this is somebody that asked for an like above ground pool, and spirit is like, nah, we're having an in ground pool put in this weekend because we got it like that. That's kind of the energy that I'm picking up, and I need you to really grab hold of this energy, and I really need you to take that risk that spirit is asking you to take. Alrighty. Aries, Taurus, cutting cords or needing to cut cords. I'm going to be completely honest with you. For very few of you, this is going to be cutting cords with people physically outside of you, like, you know, friends, families, etc., co-workers, etc. This cutting cord energy that I'm mainly picking up are for those that are having a very hard or difficult time when it comes to their mindset. You have been going down a road or a path of overconsumption of spiritual things. And I'm saying things because not everything that you're consuming spiritually are tools that are in alignment with your spirit. Now, and again, I speak for myself, not for other readers, not for other people's gifts, right? I will not tell somebody like, oh, that is not for you, this is not for you. I instead help guide clients into finding, like, there's ways to guide people into finding what those tools are that are needed for them, right? And for some of you, you went into like this spiritual journey like full force, looking and searching for everything. And there's nothing wrong with it. But when you try to merge from a lot of different practices, it can become a little chaotic if you're not honoring each practice in its way, right? So there are, within spiritual practices, there are certain structurals within certain ones, right, that function just like a religion, right, where there's a hierarchy or whatever it is, right? And I'm trying to word it in a way like to allow my message to come through. So for some people, it may work taking a little from here, there, and there, and making it their own. For other people, it may not. It really all comes down to what is your purpose, or how it is that you're supposed to connect spiritually, right? So, and I've said this many times before, when I work with certain spirits or certain deities, goddesses, gods, etc., demons, whatever, from different practices, I work with them. The tools that I utilize are tools that were given to me directly by them, not from the practices that they originate from. Does that make sense? So if you're following, or you're trying to follow something or someone else's guidance and how to connect with certain spirits, and you're not following it to the T, you may start to see like your life is getting more complicated, or like things are getting more confusing. And it is because you're almost supposed to like strip away what you have learned or what you have been taught, and instead learn to sit with your own spirit so that you can be guided as to what it is that you're supposed to be connected to and how it is that you connect to said thing. Does that make sense? I don't know. That's the way that it's coming up. And for those of you that are ready to hear the message, it's for you. And if I'm confusing you more than anything, then babe, come back in a couple of weeks, okay? All right, anything else that they need to know, Spirit? Okay. So yeah, there is a sense here that in order to find balance, there is almost, again, it's not about like ignoring anything or thinking that you're above anything. It is about silencing the outside and sitting with your own spirit. So like, let's say if somebody tells you, oh, and I'm going to use this as an example, right? Before you go to bed, take a glass of water if you want to remember your dreams, right? If you want to remember your dreams or you want to keep nightmares away, take a glass of water, a clear glass of water, and as you're filling it up, say, as I rest, cleanse what I cannot see, absorb what is heavy, remove what is not mine, and so it is, right? I can give you that tool. You can go ahead and use it and have the worst night of your life. Why? Because your spirit does not work with the energy of water in that way. Maybe for you, it would be something more like touching grass before you go to bed. It could be doing just breath work or saying those words as you're doing breath work that is going to work for you. It could be lighting up a little tea candle as you're saying those words that is going to work for you. So that is what I'm talking about when we talk about giving you guys tools and you guys personalizing it. So this is where you're having the issue that you're trying to use tools in the exact manner that it was given to you, and you've almost been afraid to personalize set tools, my love. And that's something that you need to break free from this week. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull out And Oracle, that's your closing message. Why are we hesitant? The Banshee. Okay, there we go. Heed my warning, dear child, for what I hold is far from unsung lullabies. Swallow a nail and you can expect bleeding from within. Right. And I have to say this because she came out a lot in the regular readings. There is a sense here again of needing to find something that grounds you or finding like what holds you. There is here some of you that are really obsessed with trying to figure out all of your spirit guides, angels, ancestors, etc., their names, their origin, all of these things. And for some of them, you don't even have the intellectual or the language to even say it, right? So some of these spirits that you connect with are from are either like so ancient that we've lost the language, we've lost the sound, we've lost the intellect to connect to them. So they still present themselves, but it's like they're not, they might be giving you their name in a different way. What do I mean by that? I have certain spirits that the minute that they enter, and when I say they enter is when they take the lead, right? So when I'm doing readings, certain spirits take certain leads depending on what it is that is coming through. And some of them come in through a specific scent, some of them come in through a specific sensation, a specific sound that is so hard for me to describe, but it is so unique to just that spirit. And I don't force it, being like, oh, you need to tell me your name, you need to show me your full face, or you need, and for some of them, I've seen their full face. And for some of them, I haven't. For some of them, they come in as a shadow figure, or they only show me parts of themselves, but they've been with me since I was a child. But I don't force, or I don't get hooked on the, oh, why aren't they showing? Because intellectually or mentally, what they are showing me is what I have the capacity to work with at this moment in time. And that doesn't make me any less, that doesn't make me any stupider or anything like that. It's just a reality of it. Okay? Okay. Aquarius, Pisces. Hold on, guys. Aquarius, Pisces, there is an energy of you hearing a call or needing to answer a call. Now, for some of you, this is going to be physically like a call that you've been waiting for, or some type of communication that you've actually been waiting for. For others of you, this call, is spiritually. Like there is a spirit, there is something that is almost kind of like pulling or tugging at you, like, hey, I'm here to work with you. Hey, I'm here. I'm here. That's what I keep on hearing. It's like, I'm here. And for some reason, you haven't been listening. So like if this is a physical call, it could be like the first 2 or 3 times that this person tries to reach you, you miss the call. Whether like one time you were in the bathroom taking a shower, the next time you were taking a shit, the third time you were peeing, whatever, or you went outside to grab something from the mail. And again, there seems to be this call or this communication that wants to come through that you have asked for, that you have been waiting for, but somehow you keep on missing. And there is a lesson in that in itself. And it is a reminder that what is meant for you is for you, and no one or anything can take it away from you. Because by the fourth time, if it's a physical call, you're going to pick up the call and have the best conversation of your life or receive the best answer of your life. So the missing the call the first 3 times didn't change the outcome of what was coming through. So for those of you that this is spiritually, do not feel like you are starting a little too late. Do not feel like you were ignoring spirit or that you were ignoring the guidance or anything like that. You are connecting with this at the perfect time is what I'm trying to say. So I need you to really allow that to sink in, because you tend to have this space, or you tend to go into the space, guys, where if you miss something the first time or the second time around, you think that it's because it's not meant for you, and that's not what it is. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the way that it's coming up. So there is a sense here again of realizing that this is like the missed call or the miss whatever it wasn't a missed opportunity. It was a reminder That when spirit has something for you, when something is for you, when you have worked for something, whether it was physically or spiritually or whatever it is, or a combination of both, it's yours no matter what. And that interfering energy that you may have been experiencing, like temporarily, was nothing more than like your own energetic like frequency that you were sending out of doubt or something of that matter. But this is, you're going to have that conversation and you're going to receive and move forward with whatever it is, whatever answer it was that you were waiting for. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card for your closing message. Don't mind my nails, guys. It is driving me crazy not to be able to get them done yet. I'll find out in a week when I can get them done again. Let's go ahead and let's see. And no, my hands, my nails are healthy. It has nothing to do with my nails. That's not the reason why I'm not getting them done. It's because I'm supposed to be going into surgery again, and it's just a hassle to go and then have to take them off like within a week or two. Like, it's not worth it. Anyways, for your closing message, we have the underworld. Hand over your known. A shift is near. Take a leap. Your journey is clear. Again, Spirit is constantly reminding you that your journey is clear. Spirit is constantly reminding you that what you want, what you ask for is right, excuse me, is right there. Stop questioning it and stop doubting yourself so much, my love. Scorpio, Sagittarius, right? That's where, yep, that's what came out. Scorpio, Sagittarius, cusp. Saint Anthony is coming up for you guys, like very heavy and very strong. Something about fairness or about balance, about structure, about standing up for the little man. Maybe you are in a career or in a position where this is what Saint Anthony and San Rafael, Saint Raphael, I guess is how you say it in English, are the two saints that are coming through. I am picking up though this energy of like protection, whether it is that you work in, like, you know, you're like a cop, a security guard, or you're like a lawyer. I don't know, there's something here, child protective services, there's something here about like protecting. Maybe you're like in law or something, like where you push to fight for different types of laws, or I don't know, it's something of that matter. But there's something here where whatever it is that you do or whatever it is that you're trying to do affects a lot of people, or has the possibility of affecting a large group of people, is the way that I'm picking it up, guys. Maybe for some of you, this is maybe you're debating whether to go back to school, you're debating whether to start a new career. For those of you that want, I don't, again, I don't know why this is coming in this way. For some of you, you're wanting to see, am I too old to become a cop? Am I too old to become a firefighter? There's something that you've always wanted to do, but life took you in a different direction. And now you're almost at like whatever that age limit is. Like, you're approaching it, but you're not there yet. I feel like you're still like at least two, like 1 to 2 years out from that age limits where you can actually like become a cop, or you can actually become a firefighter or something like that. And Spirit is like, hey, let's just go for it if that's what you want to do. I don't know. That's what the way that is coming up. For some of you, this is going back to like school, right? Going back to college, etc. Some of you are asking yourself, like, am I too old to go back to college to start this? Like, do I really want to start this? That's what I keep on hearing. The Spirit is like, go. Like, there's something here about like, just go. Like, I don't care if you're like if you're going from being a lawyer to being a hairdresser. Like, if being a hairdresser is your passion, like what I tell my kids is like, whatever it is that you decide to do, as long as you're passionate about it, you're going to be successful about it. And I don't care what nobody says in regards to that. I am a firm believer in that, and I've seen it with my eldest child, who chose not to go to college. Anyways, so let's go ahead and let's see. So yeah, there's something here about like you needing to get out of your own way and stop doubting or stop making excuses as to why you can't do something, and just go ahead and take a chance on yourself, take a chance on your dreams, my love. All right. Why was that upside down? That is so weird. I don't keep any of these upside down. The Elders is your oracle card, and it is number 15, guys. We have birth from seed within the belly of the moon. They are the wise felt touches over our hearts and felt deep within the marrow of our spirit. So there is here, like, again, I feel like your ancestral spirit group is is telling you that it is okay to go in a different direction. It is okay to follow your dreams. Some of you are stuck in like family businesses, or following family lineage when it comes to like career and things like that, but you're not happy. You're not satisfied. And some of you have, or like questioning yourself like, oh, is so and so going to be disappointed? Like if it was your great grandmother or grandfather that started a business, like are they going to be disappointed that I didn't follow in their footstep? And it's like, sweetie, I did what I wanted to do. They followed their dream, they followed their passion. And you can still be involved with the family business. It just doesn't have to be your main source. Does that make sense? Okay. Virgo, Libra, cusp. There's a separation coming in, whether this is romantic or platonic. There is a separation, or there's like a temporary leave from a space or from a connection. If this is romantically, you're taking a break, for like a couple of months or whatever it is. Somebody feels like they need a breather. Somebody feels like they need to evaluate certain things. If this is work, you can be simply taking some time off for maternity leave, paternal leave. Maybe you're having a surgery coming up or something like that. What I'm trying to say is that this energy for this week, this ending is not a full ending. It is a temporary one. So for those of you that are breaking up with somebody and you think you're done with them, just know that this person and this whole situation is coming back around. So there is not an official ending. It is just a temporary leave is what I'm picking up. There is a sense here of, for those of you that are taking a break, some of you like have been through therapy with your significant other, and there's something here where you guys are trying to, and like I don't know if you can see, my ring is changing colors. There's something here like about trying to rediscover the initial spark. And as I'm saying that, the water's turning completely green and it's pulling me into like the heart chakra. And it's weird because I'm seeing a lot of green and yellow. So there is a lot of love within this connection. There is a lot of love between the two of you, but for some reason, communication has sucked in the past like 3 months. 3 months, 3 years, 3 months to 3 years. I don't know. I'm hearing 3 months, 3 years of like really feeling like, and it's not just you. I feel like it's both of you. Both of you are mirroring each other in this energy where communication just sucks. And you guys have been through therapy or have talked about it. I don't know, something of that matter. And taking some time or taking a break is what I'm picking up. It's something that is definitely needed in order to bring balance back into this connection, bringing balance back into this relationship. Some of you are wondering like, well, are we going to date somebody in between these spaces? I feel that for those of you that this is going to apply, this is a separation that there is structural around it. It's like, this is not a breakup. This is a separation. Like, this is how many weeks we're going to take apart from each other, or how many months or whatever it is. And then we're going to come back to therapy and discuss like what we found within this space. For those of you that are breaking up, and I'm putting it in quotations because you're getting back with this person, this little cycle here, regardless of how toxic you think it is not over. Those of you that are breaking up, yes, you and or this person will be dating and then are going to end up right back with each other. Alrighty. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull out your oracle card as your closing message. All right, what fell? We have the Black Cat. There's a curious journey into the depth of the unknown, hidden so deep that only the brave will gracefully return with light in their eyes and shadow leading home. So again, whatever this is, I feel that it is very temporary. I feel that there are things within these spaces that you are going to rediscover about yourself, but this is not a journey that is over. And depending on which part or which side of this you're on is really going to define the outcome of the quality when you guys come back together. I hope that makes sense. Cancer, Leo, cusp. What is it that something seems off, or something is not adding up is what I'm picking up. Whether this is communication like at work, whether this is in your own personal life, there's something here that is not adding up. There's something here that you're calling someone out on something fishy is going on here. So like there may be either materials or finances, like actual money missing from work, or finances, etc., missing from like a joint account with a significant other or something like that. Or maybe you go out looking for something like from storage and you come to find out that it's missing. There's somebody here who has been taking without permission and has been spending on some type of vice. And whether this is a drug, whether this is, going to strip clubs, whether this is gambling, whatever the vice is not so much what I'm like, what is coming up. It's more of the vice is to an extent, like taking hold of this. And I don't say this as I do not say this as an excuse, okay? But the vice itself, it's an addiction that has taken over this person where they act impulsively without even realizing it, right? So for many, 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 many years, I smoked cigarettes. And for a period of time there, I think there was like a 3-month period where and it was really eye-opening to me because I've always been one of those I was one of those cigarette smokers that could go weeks without lighting up a cigarette. But when I was pulled out of work, I felt like cigarette was the only thing that I had control over, like smoking. And this was like, back in 2018. And I went through like a 3-month period where I could not, like, I was so addicted to the energy of what I thought was control, right? That I wouldn't go a day without smoking a cigarette. Because to me, that was proving to myself that I had control over it, right? So it's almost kind of like some type of like psychological energy like that is happening. Again, I'm not saying that that is an excuse for any behavior or anything like that. But I'm just trying to give you a picture of like what this person is going through. But there is you needing to call out this behavior and you needing to let somebody know that you know what they have been doing. If then like, that makes sense. Because this person does need to be made aware that something has taken full control over like their impulses. Because they are pretty much in denial in regards to it. There's a denial here and a feeling attacked on their behalf. But there is something here where you're going to be the tool, the person that is going to be utilized. You're going to be the catalyst and this person getting help. Alrighty. I'm not taking all of those cards. I'm sorry. Hold on. Because now this is the tricky part. Alright, let's try this again. And I'm sorry that I'm out of breath, but like even bending down since the surgery has been really uncomfortable. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card for the closing message, Spirit. Just one card. One card, Spirit. The ancestors. They hiss a quivering so deep, only roots of your soil can lift the nakedness hidden within the vows made in silence. An ancient chill walking upon the spine. So there is a sense here, again, you are going to be that energy or that force that forces someone to see that there is a problem, to see that there is something here that needs their attention, that they need help in some area of their life when it comes in regards to like some type of vice. All right. Leo, Virgo, cusp. Oh, there's some type of victory coming in, Leo, and I'm sorry that I took such a long pause, but I keep on hearing it like that song. It's a palo. I'm assuming it's a Dominican palo. That's where the playlist comes from anyway, and it's about like Saint Michael, the Holy Spirit, and it's like him using his sword in victory. So it's like arriba San Miguel con su espada va a vencer. So there is some No, I haven't said. So there is. I'm sorry. Like I really just want to fucking like cheer for you guys because there is a victory coming and a winning of some sort. Whether this is through court, whether this is like finally, um, financially like making the amount of money you want to make, or finally like paying something off, or finally feeling like you are not just surviving. I'm sorry. Like I am like in basking in this energy because again, it's almost kind of like when people talk about like miracles, right? So this can be like a finally something being cleared, right? So like if you had some type of diagnosis that you thought was going to be the end of you, like everything is now back to normal. If you were in financial debt, like now that debt has been cleared. Like there's some type of liberation, some type of freedom, some type of miracle that you're just sitting in this space of like a lot of you are still going to be in shock that something worked in your favor, that something that you got the outcome that you wanted. But there is a reminder here that your spiritual team has been working double for this for you. They've been working double time for you in this. Eh, it's, I don't know, it's like, and I know if you guys hear me speaking in Spanish, it's like the songs be coming to me and I just start like saying certain words or whatever it is that is coming through. But yeah, there is some type of here, some type of energy that you're, you may have been struggling financially, or maybe you were struggling like emotionally, like maybe you were in a relationship that really drained you, really took so much from you, and now you finally moved on with someone else, and I'm gonna say something, and you guys are probably gonna be the only ones that know this since I like announce it to everyone. But my girls have been playing around with reading. They've been interested, and I just like give them decks, and I'm like, what do you feel? What do you see? What do you sense, etc. And we do them collectively, like for the collective I'm like, what are you picking up, and this and this and that. And one of them was, this is what this is reminding me. She was like, there's some people out there that think that someone was their soulmate, or someone was like their perfect partner. And I was like, uh-huh, and what do you pick up from that energy? And she's like, no, mom, you have to understand, that was never the person they were meant to be with. That was the person they were supposed to learn lessons with. But now they're going to meet the person they're meant to be with. And they're going to reminisce, not in a bad way, but in a way of being grateful that things didn't work out with the other person. And that's kind of like the energy. Like as soon as I like pull these cards, I was like, oh shoot, this is what she said. And I won't say which of the twins said it, because they've both been playing around, and I love it because I have them pull things out for the collective, and then I have them watch like my videos and one other person's video, and what they're picking up is like the same thing. So it's actually quite beautiful, of how they're there is not about like them growing into their gifts. It's about just being interested enough to allow their gifts to not necessarily come through. It's like I think they're getting ready to start sharing their gifts, if that makes sense. Because a lot of it has always just been private when it comes to their gifts. But it was like, it was kind of funny because of the way that it came out. So we have the bat. Invoke thy power and fear not the hidden. What lurk is coming with undenying change. This is coming, baby, and there's nothing that's going to stop it. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be liberating. And you are going to be so happy that this happened. Libra, Scorpio, cusp. Libra, Scorpio, cusp. You're crossing path with someone this week that you thought was in the past, somebody that was going to stay in the past, somebody that you didn't think that you were going to have to deal with again, or etc. This person is this. What I want you to understand, and I know that I'm not saying this like to scare anyone or anything like that, but this is not a meeting by chance. This person has been low key like stalking you, or low key trying to stalking you. Let's just put it that way, because I was going to try to be a little nice for their sake, but it's not. So if I were you, I will be a little bit more aware of like sharing what it is that you're doing, like on social media, or if posting your locations or etc. Because this is definitely an ex, so this is somebody that you were involved with. They may still be connected to certain people that you're connected with, like friends or etc. And they seem to pop up at like every event that you're at. Like if you go to this fair, they're there, even though they live like 2 towns away, and they're not interested in said fair, right? Or like I don't know. It's just that's the way that it's coming up. Like if you're going to like a friend's cookout and they're not directly invited, but they know you're going, so they reach out to like another friend and being like, oh, what are you doing this week? And I think we should do this, knowing very much that they're going to be like at a cookout with you. And then that friend doesn't think twice about it. It's like, oh, you should come or you should tag along. Or they even say like, oh yeah, man, like I really need to like, hang out with somebody. I don't know why I'm using that voice, but it's almost kind of like they try to gain sympathy from other people so that they can get invited or get into spaces or places where you are at. So why am I saying that? Because you're going to keep running into them the next couple of months, and they're going to be playing a little bit of like these psychological games, thinking or making you think, excuse me, that the reason why you guys keep running into each other is because it's meant to be, but they're low-key stalking you. Like I had somebody that, this is something that my ex-husband told me, and I'm not going to say who this person is, but he dated somebody that was, after we got divorced, he dated somebody that was of a mutual group of friends of ours. And when I met this person, like right off the bat, I knew she didn't like me. She was married, I was married. And I knew, like, and I used to tell this to my husband when we were together. I'm like, yo, she does not like me. Like, I don't know what I've done to this woman. Like, she won't eat the cook that I food. She won't do anything. And mind you, I used to cater all the meals for these parties. And years went by. And again, we would go to each other's kids' birthday party. We were in the same friend group. And when he started dating her, I looked at him and I was like, first of all, like, that's one of the codes that you just don't break. Like, that's disgusting in my opinion. But that's besides the point. He tells me, he was like, oh yeah, when we were and it was short lived, and I'm being honest. But when they broke up, he comes up to me. He was like, oh yeah, she told me that she would know when we weren't, like, when we were not together or when he wasn't with other girls, based on his status in Facebook. So like when we got divorced, obviously he went to single, I went to single. Then he dated other women and stuff like that. So she was keeping track of when he was single and when he wasn't. And then when she finally got divorced or separated or whatever it was, they started dating. But it was short lived, is what I'm trying to say. But it's like, it's almost kind of like the stalking energy of like, it wasn't something that happened naturally. Like she inserted himself in his life through like other people, let's put it this way. So he was he was seeing her like on a daily basis because she built a relationship with someone else, like with one of his sisters. I'm just gonna say it. And therefore they were living in the same house, the sister and him, so this person was there all the time. So when they initially started dating, he told me, he was like, oh, I feel like it was meant to be this whole time. And I laughed, and he was like, why are you laughing? And I was like, I don't know, there's more to the story. So when he comes over, he says the story to me, like I laugh. I was like, I told you from the get-go that wasn't gonna last. And it wasn't because I was jealous, it was just because energetically I knew that something was there that wasn't right. And it was that. So that's kind of like what I'm picking up here. So the reason why I'm saying that is to avoid or help you avoid a heartbreak or help you avoid a lesson, because like deep down in your gut, you know that you're not meant to be with this person. You know that something is off within this energy and you need to like just address it. Let's just be honest. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card. All right. I don't know why I had to share that. We have intuition. Listen to your gut feeling, my love. You hold the answers. You know the truth. Ancient ones are way behind the doors of the mind. Your gut feeling, like this person, your gut feeling in regards to this person is right on point. Do not ignore your intuition when it comes to this, and do not fall for this person's deception. Pisces, Aries, cusp. Snake energy, kundalini energy, something within that energy or within that space is calling your name or is calling for your attention during this time. There is, as I'm saying that, I'm getting like really, really hot and I'm sweating like as if I was like in the sun or whatever. And there is this sense of needing to commit, is what I keep on hearing. Needing to commit to your practice or needing to commit to your path. You've been a little wishy-washy with your practices or wishy-washy with your path. You keep on trying to keep your spiritual life from your practical life separate, and they are always and always have been and will always be intertwined, whether you like to admit it to yourself or not. That is just a reality of it. Our spirit is the one that is leading, that is guiding, that is pushing forward, etc. And one of the things that I've learned in this beautiful journey is the fact that when I allow my spirit to lead and when I listen and I honor what my spirit wants, everything else in my materialistic world unfolds in a way that is greater and better than what I could have imagined or what I could have wanted. And there is a sense here of like needing to allow your spirit to take the lead and stop suppressing the growth, the spiritual growth that is coming from within. All right. Anything else that I need to know, Spirit? For those of you that are feeling like you're stuck manifesting or etc., material things, whether it's jobs, career, or anything like that, again, there is a disconnect or a needing to reconnect your spiritual self to what it is that you're trying to manifest. Your focus has been really on the doing. And I've said this a lot of times, like when I rest, and when I mean I rest is when in these spaces where my spiritual aspect or my spiritual self takes the lead more than normal. So like usually I try to keep it a 50-50. And when I start to feel a little resistant, it's like, okay, I need to bring the spiritual part of myself up to like a 70 and worry, and then everything practical is going to take a 30%. That's how much I'm going to give it until I get past whatever this little hurdle is or whatever this is that I'm not seeing clearly, right? And then it balances itself back up, right? And sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes I need to do a little bit more practical things, but there's always like this balancing back and forth. And some of you are needing to find that balance, or you're still struggling to find that balance. All right, what is it? What is the oracle card? What is the closing message? Spirit, give me one card. Oh, we're already over an hour. I mean, by the time I edit and I cut off like the dead space in the video, but nature spirit. On your toes, twirl and twirl until you're ready to take flight. They arrive in the winds beneath your wings and speak through the swaying of the trees. Need I say more? I mean, you're needing to trust where it is that spirit is guiding you, where it is that your spirit is leading you. Trust your own spirit, baby. Gemini, Cancer, Cusp. There is a sense here of like needing to invite a little more joy or a little bit more laughter into your life. You've been taking things a little bit too serious lately, and what I need you to understand during this time or during the season is that there is going to be a lot of projection happening from everyone left and right. And what I mean by taking it too seriously is like you cannot internalize other people's projection. You cannot continue on putting yourself in the position or in the place where you allow yourself to internalize other people's BS. A lot of people seem to be under the impression that because you're spiritual, you're not supposed to speak up for yourself. That because you're spiritual, you're supposed to let things just slide. That is not always the case. Because if your spirit is telling you to speak up on something, if your spirit is telling you to stand up for something, you need to listen to that. And for some of you, there is this sense where you have almost kind of like taken a step back and like not standing up for, like not using your voice to advocate for yourself. And instead you're internalizing other people's projection and calling somebody out on their projection as you're doing it. If that is what your spirit is leading you to do, then that's what you do. Or if you stop the conversation, you stop whatever it is, then you stop it. But there is a sense here of like not internalizing it, because if you continue to do this, I'm going to tell you, the next 3 months are going to be really rough for you. Like you're going to be getting upset over things that have shit to do with you. And that's just the honest truth. Just because of what's happening collectively, when it comes to like, and I'm a, again, I don't do astrology. I haven't studied it or anything like that. But there seems to be this theme that I've heard, that, well, not heard other people, just one other person talk astrologically in regards to like this energy that is coming through. And I pick up on the energy, but I pick on them differently, not just through like astrology, right? Because again, I haven't studied it, but there is this sense of like needing to get the hang of how it is that you're dealing with this energies now, so that you don't spend the next 3 months like in a shithole feeling like crap or feeling bad for yourself. So your closing message is the ritual. Can you feel them? Wild creatures linked by the very blood you will spill into your craft. A ritual of dedication to self and those who gaze hold fire, but whose whispers carry you softly through the unknown. So maybe setting some type of protection spell, some type of protection barrier, maybe, starting some type of practice that is going to help you ground yourself, because this is not about avoiding communication. That's not what I'm asking you to do, because avoidance is not going to teach you anything. Okay? Avoidance is not going to teach you anything. Avoidance is just going to make you feel temporarily like you've healed, or like you've grown and this and this and that. And then when you get thrown back into the midst of things, it's like all hell breaks loose. Okay? So what I want you to do is during this time is learn how to transmute these energies, how to deal with these energies, how to manage these energies while you're in the midst of them. Okay? Okay. Well, guys, that is all that I have. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing. Guys, take care. Love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.